Hey, it's Ethan and Carter here from WPIC, and we're here to interview Bob Mcdorman about the new Corvette Museum.
Hi, this is Carter here with WPIC, and we are here at the Corvette Museum interviewing Bob Mcdorman. So we have a couple questions for him. First of all, Bob, what sparked your love for cars?
Well, when I was a little kid, I played with cars in our driveway, and we had a gravel driveway, couldn't have a paved driveway. And I'd get all tore up when the cars would come in, and I had to put my toys away, and they'd run over top of them. And I've always loved cars. In fact, my father was an International Harvester farm machinery dealer, and he was very successful. In 1955, he led the state of Ohio in tractor sales. And I only made him cry twice in my life was when I got married and when I quit working for him to go in the car business. I was in college at Muskingum College in New Concord, Ohio, and I got up one morning and I saw this real pretty, brand new 1951 Chartreuse Ford with a black vinyl roof. It was probably the sharpest Ford I've ever seen, and still is. And I went down through the dorm. I was the first student in the new dorm, and asking who had that car out in front. Well, the guy clear at the end of the dorm says, "Well, it's the guy next door to you, in the room next door to you." I went back up to his room and got him up out of bed. I said, "Where'd you get that car?" He says, "Well, my dad's a Ford dealer." I says, "God, are you ever living?" And from then on, I really wanted to be in the car business. I went to work in a Buick Pontiac dealership in London, Ohio, and as a parts manager after I left my dad. I was parts manager for my dad, and loved every moment of it. And then I left that deal, went to work in a factory for 2 months. I refused to join a union, so they were going to break the windows out of my parents' house. I was living at home. And I told them, I no longer work here, don't worry about it. And so I got back into the car business in a Chevrolet dealership. I sold used cars on the lot. And by the second month, I was leading the pack. Then at that point, none of the salesmen liked me because of leading. And from there, I went back into the parts room because his parts manager had quit. And I worked in his parts room. And then I went back when that deal sold out into used car sales, became used car manager, and from there I went on to become a dealer. In 1965, that was my first year in business. This is 1950, or I'm sorry, this is 2014, and this coming year will be my 50th year in business. It's already that in the model cars. I have serial number 50 back here. I got it for my 50th anniversary, and I had to buy it off a dealer down in Atlanta in order to get that serial number because he's the one that got it from Chevrolet. At one time, I had 12 celebrity cars, and I sold the collection in 2008 because I needed some money to run the dealership with. I owed $4 million on them, and they brought $7 million. And that enabled me to have operating capital. And the very next day, I bought the first car of this collection. In that first collection, or third collection I had about 160 cars in there, not just Chevrolets. But right now, I'm having about all Corvettes, with the exception of 8 or 10. Some of them are my ex-demos, and the rest of them are Corvettes. And I have rare Corvettes. I have 4 serial number 1 Corvettes now. Chevrolet never gave them to me. I bought them off of other people that had them. I have 3 serial number 2s, and 2 serial number 3s, and 1 serial number 4. And plus I have, and I'm coming close to getting the 1965 serial number 1. If I get that, and having this 2015 serial number 50, that'll be a great matching pair to put on the showroom floor. And the ones I got on the floor right now are 78 pace cars. One of them is serial number 3. Al Unser's wife, I have a handwritten letter from her Stadium, they still have serial number 2 for winning the race at Indianapolis. And the museum's got serial number 1. I also have serial number 6502. That's the very last one they built. But I love the car business, and I'm enjoying this just as much as I did being a dealer for 50 years. So it's my life. I live and breathe it. And I will not sell any cars out of this collection unless I find one the same year that's rarer than the one I got. That's the only way I'll do it. That's pretty much the story.
What was the first car that you really sparked your interest that you can really remember? First that started your collection? First favorite car?
Truthfully, I don't know. I've had so many of them. If I get this 65 serial number 1 back, I used to own it. That was one of my early ones. I've always collected Corvettes. I had 12 celebrity cars at one time, and I can give you the information on that. I had John Mellencamp's car. That car is now, he's 56. That car is now over in Germany. I had George Strait's 1958. Give you a little story about him. He put on a concert at the Ohio State University Stadium, and Chevrolet had the local Chevrolet dealers come in and meet him. And I pulled a picture out of my pocket, and I says, "Here's your car on this 58." And he says, "That's not my car. That may not be your car, but your name's on the title." He says, "Can I buy it back?" So he acknowledged there. I had Burt Reynolds, 1960. I had Bunky Newsom, president of General Motors, 63. I had his wife, Pink, 64 Corvette. I had Bill Mitchell's 64. He was an engineer. I had Ricky Van Shelton's car, 67. I talked to him personally about his car. And I had get Ramon Riding. Wait till I get my cheaters on there. Oh, I had Johnny Carson's 86 Corvette, Dinah Shore's 87, Zora Duntov, who designed the Corvettes, 89, had the Miss America 93, Mario Andretti's 94, Alan Jackson's 2002, and I had Dwight Yoakam's car, but I can't remember what year it was.
Do you have a favorite car in your collection?
All of them.
All of them? That's fair enough. Can you tell us some about the history of all the signs and memorabilia you have in the museum?
I've collected signs for 60 years. This is actually a 60-year collection here. I saved them and bought them. We have 40 more neon signs to go up inside. We get that done. That should look like a Las Vegas Strip when I get done with it.
Oh, yeah. All right. And lastly, what would you like to add to your collection, if you could add anything?
Just, I won't add over 8 or 10 more cars because I'm going to keep a maximum of 50 cars in this building. And then, like I say, I won't sell any of them I got unless I find one rare of the same year. But I don't know of any that I like to sell. I want to have all the pace cars back. And I've got like these two here and in here, and I got serial number 186 out there, I think it is. And that's, I try to put rare stuff together like that, but there's not many of them made.
That's great. Well, thank you for your time and having us come out here and interview and show us the museum. It's really great. Appreciate it. All right.